Cool, see my thing now. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ludum Dare 38. My 9th Ludum Dare and third year anniversary of doing it. Started doing this in 2014, so pretty excited. Just thought I'd bring up my Ludum Dare 37 game in preparation and kind of remember what I did. I made this little, I wouldn't call it a gem, but a game. The theme at that one was one room, and as you can see, there's a single room here. Oop. Oh, darn. And you got to kind of kite these creeps in order to not let them hit you. And yeah, I don't know. I remember it being a lot. I was kind of proud of the graphics. I thought weren't bad in this game, which was kind of nice. A little different than what I've normally kind of focused on, but the big issue I had was these guys. It was too hard to notice when they were attacking you. Like, they're hitting me, and then you just kind of die. So there wasn't like a lot of progression or anything like that. So that was that game. Of course, I started with something, an idea completely different, really, and ended up with that. So, but here we are, Ludum Dare 38. We've got a new site now, and I'm still trying. Oh, I think it finally showed up. Looks like it's kind of coming through alpha development, but development's hard. So let's take a look at Twitter. What's kind of going on? What are we out here? 15 more minutes? Oh yeah, 15 minutes on the dot there. Must be have a lot of traffic here, and the site's probably not quite up to snuff on that yet, because you click on stuff and it's just nothing. So one thing I noticed is that the streams here are to Twitch, and I, for some reason, have chose to do all mine on YouTube, and I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but I'm going to use... I got 3 people watching. Going to use Monogame and my own framework called Cold Steel again, which is not really that useful. But it's the same one I used last time, which is new because I've rewritten it every time coming up, and I started doing that this time too. I got kind of into functional programming a little bit, and I got sidetracked and try to kind of figure out how I might do things more functionally, and it didn't work out too well. So let's see here, LD38. I'm gonna clone this to my desktop here and get kind of prepped up. I set up the repo earlier tonight. Oh, maybe I already did. Where is it though? And why can't I see it? Is it... Oh, my desktop's back to doing that stupid thing. For a while there was actually... It was... it would... Yeah, it's exactly that. The like icons would just kind of be hidden, and I couldn't actually see them for some stupid reason, but... I do have the chat up. If anybody says hi or whatever, I'll try to notice, but usually I don't, and there's kind of a delay from when I say something to when you actually probably type something in the chat windows. So welcome to my stream if you're watching. Thanks for watching. I did this last time, but I'm not too familiar with submodules. So I have my engine, which is called Cold Steel, based off my GitHub repo, running as a submodule, so I can do development on it and hopefully push to that while I'm working on this one. So a little bit of different strategy this time around. I've already kind of decided on the kind of game I'm going to build. So when the theme comes out, I am just going to kind of roll with my idea, but then try to apply the theme to it. So that way I'm not spending time going, do I want to build this kind of game or this kind of game or whatever. So that's kind of exciting. Or, well, for me anyways. I'm just going to get kind of projects started here. I'm going to have to remember how to do development. I feel less prepared for this Ludum Dare than I have been for any of the previous ones. So let's see here. There we go. Plop her in there. We'll just call it LD38. Just trying to get the, actually, let's go up a level since I already got the folder. And put it right there. Will not be. This is just confuses the heck out of me. Okay. It put everything into this folder. Not sure what the deal is with that. Why that message came up. I have not been impressed with Visual Studio 2017. It's been really bothering me. So anyways, let's take a look at kind of the themes, if I can find them. The other site was kind of slow. A lot of people on it obviously right now, so it might have crashed. Yeah, it's really... Alright, come on. Load up. 10 minutes to go. It's slow, but that's understandable. A lot of people interested in this. Maybe if you watch Quill, he might have some ideas on what the themes are, because it looks like he's writing stuff for them. But come on. Wow, it's so slow. I guess we'll probably be just figuring out what the theme is and not reviewing it. The list here. I know one of them was a small world, and that's what I'm hoping. What I'm hoping they pick, because the game kind of I want to build is based on one of my kind of favorite older games called 1602 AD, or Anno 1602 if you were in, I think, Germany or whatever. And I don't know if I can show this without Google getting mad, but it's kind of like an island exploration city builder type game. You've got the ability to trade between islands, and it's a resource gathering type game. It's isometric, although I don't know if I would make it isometric like this. I might just make it more, what do you say, just flat 2D, just to make it easy. But again, one of my favorite games of all time. I could play this game for hours and just get lost in it, which is weird, but I enjoy it. So, but anyways, you start off with a ship full of supplies. You check out islands. You colonize an island, and then you kind of expand into it, and you've got to build up citizenships, and then you have resources that kind of start to stack on each other. And then in order to kind of move to the next level, you have to colonize another island, because you have to have like spices and stuff from some islands, and other islands make like are better for wool. So depending on which island you pick, there's different things. And then if you want to get anywhere decent, you have to get building materials. So you have to have one with like iron ore here. If you want to get really good, you have to find one with gold. So there's all sorts of stuff like that. But I don't want to make that style game. And you can eventually build soldiers and other ships with cannons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know if they have the ability to see the theme announcement. Boy, I wonder if mine's kind of lost in the mix here, because yeah, everyone's posting to the site now because he just opened it up. So, and I should have not clicked on anything. thing. But oh, well, if you're watching, thanks for joining me. I do appreciate the viewership, even though it's kind of not very good at live streaming. I don't do this very often. Just kind of holding tight till this comes out. I'll just sort of Twitter, talk about it. Like I said, a small world is probably the theme I'm probably most excited about. I can't really think of what else there was. So that one sticks in my mind. There was like on and off, black and white, 2 colors, something like that. So there was a number of kind of this or that black and white themes. So that might come through. I don't really know. But oh boy, man, this is just crazy. The old site, if you go there, gives you this big old banner saying, hey, you got to go to this one. But it doesn't really have much about the theme voting or anything like that. So I'm not sure if you could actually view that. So it'll be kind of just a surprise whatever we end up with in however many minutes we have left here. 5 minutes. It's always pretty exciting when this kind of time rolls around. I know I've got other prep work to do with stuff. I gotta add in cold steel source. These projects and link them up. Oh, what am I doing? Kind of become absent-minded. Add existing project. Cold steel. All right. Perfect. And I need to. Do I want to make a shared project so that I can easily kind of port this over to other things in the end? Although I rarely use it, so yeah, let's just stick with this for now and see where it takes us. And I'm just gonna add that. And then I've changed this a little bit, so like this one will be game. So in that, I go once.add. So I made it so that I just add in a cold steel component, and this takes a game and then a function that returns a opening scene and a list of controls. So for now we'll just kind of do that just to get it compiled and make sure everything's good. I don't know if that'll work. We'll see. Oop. Oh yeah, just not like if it's null, but I can solve that. All right, so we've got that up and running, so perfect. Now we'll bring this back down. 3 minutes to go. Let's see if news for latest events, theme selection. Let's see if I can get that open or not. And we are getting pretty close, so. It is a beautiful day out. I don't know if you can see behind me there, but it was just gorgeous out in Minnesota today. switching back, you can see it's nice and bright out. Not the best weekend for Ludum Dare, because it's just nice out, but stream your game on Twitch. I should have done. I should probably switch over to Twitch. I'm not sure what I'd be gaining from doing YouTube here, but let's see what we got. Oh, the site crashed. Bad gateway. Oh no. Retry for live. Me and every other person that went to the site. So they had it's the 15-year anniversary of Ludum Dare, which is pretty cool. They have this kind of the keynote was kind of like this documentary, little tiny documentary with some, LD jammers and just kind of explaining. It's pretty cool. New kind of logo as well. Lots of cool stuff going on. Oh boy. Just waiting. Everything's spinning. I wonder if this is going to be a problem when everyone's trying to upload on release day. That is going to be ridiculous. One thing I was kind of upset about is they did not have a list of wallpapers that I could find this time. And so, we're like a minute away. So I better just go here and kind of refresh. It's happening. Eight o'clock. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, theme. Perfect. A Small World. I don't even know what the other themes were. This is perfect. It even has the globe on it. Wow. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I can begin now, as it's officially past the time. So, A Small World. I think that all I have to do really is go with my theme or my game, but just try to somehow make things small. So that's just perfect. A Small World. Oh, actually, you know what? What am I doing? I'll just retweet. Derp, derp. Sweet. I am so happy. Wonderful. Now we get into the thick of it. So I just kind of want to hit the ground here and go. Here we go. Combo ends in 24 hours. 59. I don't think that's quite. It should be 48 hours. Right? Anyways, that'll all work itself out. Don't need to worry about that. Perfect. So, A Small World. Again, I don't exactly need to figure out exactly what I'm going to do because I know there's some thematic elements. I'm going to almost not copy that game, but really just try to, get the gist of it. So, the mechanics I need to put in place are, like if I do that ship type thing, is you start with a ship. Maybe I'll do it space themed just so I'm not like just ripping it off completely, but start with kind of like a ship. You got to move it around. It's got to have some sort of cargo space. You got to have a mini map. You got to be able to click around. There's got to be some sort of like islands, or I could do planets, and the ability to colonize those planets and take control of them, and then go through, start building on them, and then trading, and then build. So there's lots of mechanics and stuff I can build, and then thematically I can add stuff in later. So rules of the kind of road here for the first 24 hours.
focused entirely on gameplay. That's all I'm going to try to do. So actually tonight and to all day tomorrow, just purely mechanics and getting things to function. Then Sunday, hopefully at that point, it will be just entirely polish if I haven't gotten there earlier. But yeah, so A Small World is absolutely wonderful. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead and just start coding here, and I'll talk through as I kind of get stuff figured out. I'm just going to do some cleanup, and I've got to remember how to use this. As like I said, it's been a little while since I've actually tinkered with my little engine, so we'll see how well it holds up. So usually what I will do, and actually I will make a shared project, because you know what, I can move that over later. What am I talking about? Don't waste the time. Alright, so kind of scenes are your top level type stuff. So I'm going to need like the ability to select in the game you kind of select your flag and enter who your name is. I don't know if that's really needed to get started, so I'll have the gameplay scene and just go from there. So I'm in the habit of cleaning these things out. Public. Switch over to that. So why is it mad about that? Static. I had this kind of very declarative way or kind of reflective way of reading in these game objects, or now I've renamed them to entities or entity. Last time around, but now I literally just create the scene here and then add the elements and go from there. So one thing I did do is background color. Actually, it isn't black by default, so using black, and then I go like add element, and then I just chain all these elements, which could be entities, or they could be layers. I'm kind of not happy with the way that this ended up, and again I'm going to change it up probably in the future, but it's just too late in this LD gem cycle to do anything. So I need the concept of a ship, which I am going to again be focusing on not having very good graphics to start. So we'll just go ahead and make a small ship. I should have updated that. What am I doing? Let me just make lines. Again, all your assets need to be created for Ludum Dare in the 48 hours if you're doing the version that I do. Which this will kind of work for now. I don't need it to be perfect. Again, it shouldn't be perfect. It should just be ugly. last time I tried to do this with the other one, it got mad when I tried to build, but no, it looks like I'm good. Everything's fine. Perfect. All right. So, how did I load content? I think it just kind of happened when I made things, so... I should have a ship up and running. There we go. Perfect. So I need a pointer now, which I could just use the same thing, but because this is a heavy mouse game, as most these kinds of game are. Again, don't spend much time on it. This should be fine for now. All right, and I got to figure out how to get into my workflow, a faster way of getting these things kind of into the pipeline tool here. It's kind of annoying. I should just be able to say do everything in this folder and make it default and just refresh from a folder. I don't have to do these up here like this. It's just easier to kind of keep track of where it is. And this was a pointer, and I need to add an up behavior for this, which really I should be able to use like a default set of scripts here, because it's not like these have to be rebuilt every time. They're kind of just stub code. Like you can get this with Unity probably pretty quick and not have to write it yourself every time. Mouse. Let's just call it mouse. So this is where I'm going to need to refresh my memory because I don't remember how to make mouse follow. So we're going to go out to GitHub, and I've already written this for the last time, I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember how to get the controls wired in. Is that how I did it? Is that I call it? No, not the arrow. The pointer, did I call it? Yes, I did. Oh, I just put everything in a game folder. That's kind of interesting. Pointer behavior. So it's a get a directional control, and then all you have to do is on update. Actually, I should just be able to drop this in and call it good. I know, I don't think this is breaking the rules. Again, it's not really specific game code. It's more just stuff I mean, it's kind of generic boilerplate code. Controls builder. This is the other piece I need, is how I build up the controls. Pointer, and the directional was, so this is the positioning. I don't really need directional in this game. So we'll just dump that and go with the pointer controls. So not that. I should make add binding, return it, so then I can do this the way I want to do it. It shouldn't be a big deal because I have ownership over the source code. Mouse positional. I'm going to rename that maybe to input mouse position. And this add binding needs to return the hotkey for that. Minus. Perfect. I don't need to go to the mouse as much then. Alright, so that adds in the pointer. So I should... Oh, I gotta apply the behavior. Derp. Oh, you know what? I don't even know why I'm making a pointer. I don't need to skin the pointer. I could have just enabled the pointer on... Too late now. I'm already invested. Some cost. So last thing I need to do here is go to my gameplay scene and add in a pointer. Oh, I already have, but I need a add. Oh shoot. Not what I meant to do. Oh, I did call it mouse behavior. I'm going to call it pointer behavior. Because now I like it like that. I think I've given the ability to add, start with some sort of, no, I did not. Why? I should be able to just go. I wonder if. Oops. Oh, we'll just try it, and if it doesn't work out, whatever. Ship. Given key was not present in the dictionary, which means that my pointer in this input.get positional control was not working because I have not registered this yet in the game. No problem. Controls.get. Cannot convert IEnumerable of controls to IEnumerable of controls. Oh, funk. Minor issue. There we go. All right. Perfect. That's all good and dandy. Next thing I need to do is make the screen a little bit bigger. Which I will just do within here. We'll just do 720p, and then I've got a lot more. Space. I've got this whole 4K monitor, and because I'm streaming, I only use this like corner. But okay, so then I've got to be able to select the ship and move it around, right? So that's kind of the next piece here. Now, one thing I had done, I thought, is it made the ability to draw a box like this. And this whole, like, the idea of pushing down the mouse button and moving it and drawing this. I've got to make sure I can actually draw a box first. But if I can do that, then I should be able to adapt that to make, like, the drag and select type thing. So let's just add a box renderer to this to see, make sure that that works. XY width height. So it is not rendering. Oh, that's because the position's all the way off. Oh, well, no. It should draw where I am. Colors white. What is this one? Oh, it's source rectangle. Should actually draw a 200 by 200 box wherever my mouse is. So I'm a little surprised that that's not working. Oh, color's black, that's why. Not white. Or Or no, it should be white. Or no. This is the color here. All right, there we go. So yeah, I should be able to turn this into one of those like translucent select box where I start clicking here and I hold it down, and when I release clicking over here, then of course the box goes, and then anything within that box it would have to collide with and select, which seems like it's gonna take me forever to do, but it shouldn't be bad. I don't think, anyways. We'll see. So I have to, at the beginning, essentially, the beginning of it, I have to add an entity at this position I added in or whatever, and then set the rectangle size based on that. So scale it based on distance from the point that I started at. So a lot of stateful stuff in this, but that's all right. Let's go like... Actually, you know what? Let's not do that yet, because that is just kind of like not really needed for this game at this point. And I'm happy that that works, so I know I've got a box if I need it, but what I need to do is just be able to click on it and then have like it be selected. So and how I can do that is essentially have a box scale, like a selection box scale up based on the size of the thing. So if I just make this by like a 24, no, 40 by 48 box, I just chop out the inside, and when I click on it, it goes into a selected state, and then this box will show up around it. I mean, maybe I don't even need the visual cue, but I feel like it's important to have. Let's give it 2 pixels there. My son was crying. Let's scale out. You know, if I think about this now ahead of time and say everything is going to be scaled at a certain size, so let's say this ship here is 24 by 24, and the grid is 20. I mean, this would be the easiest way to do it. The grid is 24 by 24. Then, or smaller or larger, I could say that the grid is 12 by 12, and then 24 by 24 has, essentially, it takes up 4 tiles. Anything selectable, then I could scale up based on, you know, that size of the grid or whatever. Because this is going to be kind of a grid-based game, so I don't really think I need to... I can try to do everything within the size of a grid. Is 12 by 12 too small? Probably, but it doesn't mean I have to use 12 by 12. I could combine sprites to 24 by 24, so it just takes up 4 cells on the grid. But then I'm not gaining much by... Oh, you know what? I don't even need to make a selection box for right now. I keep thinking of all this stuff. You know what? All I need to do, that's just a visual representation of what it is. So I just need the ability to say it's selected, and then have some other, based on that thing that is selected, like a hopper, have contextual information about it. So when I click on a ship, it should show me what's inside the ship. if I click on a house, it should show me what's inside the house. If I don't click on anything, or if I click on this or that, it should just show me, it needs to show me. So there's going to be this like 2-pane thing. There's going to be the map area, and there's going to be a side pane, kind of just like what you normally get with any sort of real-time strategy game, I would guess. So I need to split up the world into these like 2 different sides. So let's just standardize now. This is a 720p game. I'm going to take the non-square part of it to make that the like area where you kind of look at. So it is, well, 720, 1280 minus 720 is how much space it is then. So when I click on stuff over here in the square, I'll be able to move around, and maybe I'll make it bigger than that. I'll make it, whatever, maybe about this much of it. Oh, I can make it kind of standard dimensions, so so if you figure I've got height to width ratio of 1024, and this are divided by 768. So that means 1.3 size is the height to, or the width to height ratio. So 1 1/3 of 720 is what I would actually need to do. So 960 would be how much? So my side panel would be 320 wide. So I'm just going to build out a simple thing area and carve that out onto the screen at this point. So I need a 320 wide, and height would be 720. I did say, yeah, 320, 720. And that is going to sit right on top of this like sidebar here or sidebar here, depending on which way I want to go. I'm not really sure yet, but we'll just call this sidebar. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but so I apologize for that. Perfect. Okay. Cool. And we'll style all this stuff out later, but for now, it's fine. I'm just building mechanics. I need programmer art. Show my scene. Now, I'm not going to build this out with that. So now if I run it, that would be at 0, 0, I think. So it should be, unless, no, I can have position off center, so I'm going to get this like little corner. So I have to push it out half, which is 160. 160x and 720, which is 350, 360. And okay, so there's my sidebar then. So this area over here, which you can't see because my mouse is just colored, but that area that I'm kind of going over, that white area will be kind of the where the mini-map lives, where the information lives about what's going on, what I can click on, my options to control the world over in this pane right here. So When I'm over here, it's doing stuff, midi map, blah blah blah. When I'm over here, it's actually conversing with the world in a sense. So I will need a mini map though, because obviously things can go off screen, so I need to be able to orient myself in the world. And the small world thing is kind of interesting, so I'm not sure how to really fit that in. Really, when I get into the thematic element of it, maybe just small world is just to the idea that I'm building a world within this game. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about it at this point. All right, so we've got this here. What to do next? So I've got a ship being drawn. I've got the pointer in there. I've got the sidebar figured out. I'm going to have other things. I need to be able to click on the ship, which I will move out into here by default, and then have stuff in the sidebar kind of give me information. I need to start thinking about layers a little bit too. So I'm going to obviously have like a UI or a HUD layer. How to think about this. Yeah. Because obviously I'm going to have multiple elements within that layer. I think I can set their depth within the layer and everything will be fine, assuming my sprite sort modes and everything are correct. But yeah. So, and there's really no need for me to make this. I'm just wasting time with keystrokes by doing properties, because in the end I'm just dumping them into things. So so this will be topmost. Let's just set that at 100 so we have actually UI. We'll set that at layer 90. We'll set the mouse at the top layer. Which we set at 100. And then the pointer, or we'll set it to red too, just so I can show that it's working. And this sidebar, will eventually need to move out. I'm going to eventually have to modularize some of this, obviously, but for now, we'll just leave that white. I should be able to run this now and see my mouse is red. The sidebar disappeared. Everything disappeared. What the hell? Oh, derp. I've got to add the layers in. See, I could move these into the layers into their own class and then just bring them in as an enumerable and concatenate them onto the because they're not entities. So we'll just do that already. Sure, just make scene elements and make sure that this was set. Yes, it is. And I should be able to do that. UI GP point earlier. Okay, there's that. I got my red pointer. Everything's right in the world and working as I expect it to. So So how am I going to build up this UI is the real question, because I'm going to have these buttons and everything on the side. So there's a lot going to have to go on with that. The thing is I could make this, try to just kind of implement like a very, very thin view model binding type framework so I can build UI like I'm normally used to building UIs. As far as handling state changes and everything. So I click on something and it causes, instead of causing an event, kind of fired binds off to something. I'm not really sure how this is all going to work out, but we'll see. Got plenty of time. It's only been 40 minutes since the jam kicked off, so yeah. Let's move this over so I'm in space where I can actually see it again. So given my proximity to this, I click on it, and assuming that I'm within the box here, then I have to select it. And then once selected, I've got to be able to say, hey, move to this location. And not only will it move to that location, but it also has to kind of pathfind eventually. But pathfinding could just be like a feature. Maybe I just say you can't move onto some place, certain tiles, and you could move through, and we're not going to get mad about that because this is a 48-hour game competition, and I can add pathfinding as a feature, but it's not really an essential feature of the game, so it just kind of makes sense to have it. Cool. So yeah, I hover, I click, I move. This is, I've done this before. I did this last Ludum Dare. I clicked and was able to move. So I do need button clicking on the mouse for controls. So new button control. What's the kind of name for this? Be like just select. Oh yeah, I changed this from add binding to bind to on the other one, which I like too. New I button control, mouse button control, mouse buttons left. And why does it not like that? Cannot convert type void to control. Oh, yeah, that's right. I made the bind to here a. I did, okay. So when I left click, that's selecting something, and when I right click, that says to do something, whatever the current do action is under the mouse. So okay. So this is all really under the pointer behavior yet. And pointer control position. That's what I named them. I should put these strings in a select and do. See, I already screwed up. Do. Okay. So select will always essentially have to look under the mouse and point to whatever's there, and if there's anything that is there, it will select it, or it has to move it into a hopper. So just select control dot. It's not really is down. It was pressed, or is pressed. Basically, was pressed means I clicked it. Yeah, it's pressed. Or pushed it. It was pushed, I could say. I actually do like pushed a little bit better than pressed, but was pressed, whatever. That will always supersede this if action control dot. Oh yeah, this is a method. Action. Alright, so do select has to look under any entity in the scene and then check for hits and then take like the topmost of it. So So what I could have is like a select behavior on these things. So I could say elements of type entity where e dot components contains or rather of type select behavior. Any, which would give me, I could say, so now I have that subset. I would need to look at each one and say, did I select you? So I could say, give me that particular component. Let's just assume that nothing can occupy the same space, so that I should only be able to possibly find one of these. Is hit by pointer control dot. Why did I make it like that? I could just say try select. Or maybe I need this to do more. Oh, you know what? Why don't I just... So anything that can be selected, or in the prototype of selectable, gets this thing. How I have to do, like, scrap out these components. I should be able to actually kind of like wrap this within another class that then gets this kind of idea. And then I assume they're all sprites. I need to set the pointer origin to 0 too. I just realized. But anyways, face. I'm going to cache these. It's sprite render. because I need the transform. Oh, that's actually already. I don't need the transform. I need the. Oh, that's all I need to do. Actually, all I need to do is calculate distance between this and that particular element. And make sure it's within the radius of what I would expect. Let's say 24. Oh, I gotta make things selectable first. Ha! Wonderful. That's a perfect little win. Ooh. And I got nothing this time, so I should. The selected entity has to be a. Oh, there's a lot going on here, and a lot of these shouldn't be very long queries. And okay, so I click elsewhere, and I should have deselected. Oh, what I should do is cache the color. Private color pre. Good. So now that I've got this, I can create. Oh yeah, because technically I'm going off the center of the pointer, which I have to fix. Oops. I've got to put my adapter to bed. So if I do this here, how am I going to make sure that the origin? Oh, I can set an origin, but I only use it if, perfect. That's how I solve this problem. I've got to go put my daughter to bed here, so away. Doop, 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 doop. Next thing to do is make it move. And then I've got ship movement. And then I need to actually have it display a menu when I select it. So I'm going to be taking a break. I'm not sure if I'm going to live stream or I might just focus on getting this stuff going tonight. And I'll probably be live streaming most of the day tomorrow anyways. So that's all for tonight probably. Thanks for watching if you did. Yeah, I'm out.